discount of Discount Dirt Works. He's one of our top arena builders in the country, selling and installing exclusively GGT footing products. He's kind enough today to spend some time with us to talk to people about our new 8-foot swivel groomer that we've got on site here.
The first thing when you set these groomers up is you want to lay it flat on the ground on your footing surface to verify the exact true height of the front teeth. On the swivel groomers, they come with a front wheel. That wheel is designed to always run on top of the surface. If it's not sitting on the surface, it's too high, and you would easily lower that by cranking your top link in on the tractor. So we're sitting flat on the ground. The first thing you want to do, being that it's a swivel groomer, is make sure that it's perfectly level. And to do that, you want it floating on the surface. Right now there's tension on this top link. So so we know that it's fully flat on the ground, you want to adjust that in or out until we have play in this top pin. When we have play in that top pin, that's showing that the swivel groomer is flat on the ground. No tension forward, no tension backwards. The idea behind that is with the swivel, if it's not level and it's too far back, when you start turning, it's going to want to come out of the ground, or if it's too far forward, it's going to do a fishtail effect. So that's your first step. So that's covered. So lock your top link locking nut down just to make sure it doesn't move during dragging. The middle section of grooming teeth are real easy. You simply lower this top link until they're firmly touching the ground, like so. Then you can lock it so it doesn't move. The idea behind these is to have them at 45. You don't want them too vertical because you'll end up pulling the fiber out of the ring and raking up, and you kind of want to drag it but smear it down at the same time. So this adjustment right here is pretty good with what they sent from the factory. Depending on your footing, if you're running it in clay, you might want to back it out, or if you have a light percentage of fiber or the footing's really hard, you might want to crank them back a little bit. But right now, this is kind of the ideal slope for these things. And then you have your front teeth. The front teeth, a lot of people see the long teeth and they think that it has to go right into the footing all the way, but that's not true. Every footing's different. Some have more clays, some are pure silica. On a silica surface, which what we're on, it's an all-weather, you only want those teeth to go down about 1 inch. All they should be doing is knocking over the larger divots and then allowing the fine tedder teeth in the back, the spring-loaded teeth, to do the raking. So we could go down 1 notch with this. I'll lift the tractor up, we'll pull the rod out, and then we'll slowly readjust them down 1 notch, and Cynthia will be able to help me.
And that would be if someone needed to fix a very compressed
typically one notch down from factory. Mm-hmm. You want it to touch 1 inch is always the perfect starting height.
Okay.
And then if you have a more clay ring that's packed, then you can adjust them down
to be a little more aggressive.
Depending on the fiber percentage, GGT recommends 3/4 pound to 1 pound per square foot. You're going to be limited to how low you can go with those teeth, and it'll create a balling effect in front of it. So depending on the fiber content, the clay content, everything's going to come into play. So sometimes what we do for some clients is if they have a high fiber but they want to loosen it up, we'll lower one, keep one higher, lower one, and we'll alternate, and it works well that way too. But again, every footing's different, every arena builder's different, and this is just, we'll set it up to work well on this silica sand.
One thing that I would like to mention, because I have seen situations where perhaps a barn has had someone or a few different people grooming, and by mistake they might drop these front teeth down too aggressive, and they can actually go into a base and then contaminate the riding surface. So it's very important that you do work with an arena professional such as Drew Discount, who can set the arena, not only grade it perfectly for you, but install the proper footing, and then set the grooming tool for you, because arena maintenance protects your investment.
I'm going to pull that bar out. We're going to drop these teeth.
So right now we are pulling teeth out, and we're going to adjust and change the setting. Factory setting was at the 4th, and now we're going to go to the 3rd.
All right, so we just adjusted our teeth. Typically, this is just a one-time setup. You don't need to do it every time you drag. So once you set it how you like it, it typically stays like that. Very rarely will you readjust them to maybe loosen the footing once a month, every 6 months, whatever your preference is. So first thing we're going to do, since this is a swivel, we're going to unlock it. This will allow it to freely follow the tractor, and it's basically there to, when you pull out of the ring, you lock it so it's not swinging around. It's a safety issue. So I'm going to go ahead and show you.
Thanks, Joe. Do you want to talk about the open basket, the roller basket?
The open basket's basically designed to do a packed fluff finish. It's not a smooth basket. It's not a smooth roller to leave a packed. It's basically just to slightly pack, but also give it a nice fluffed effect. So
for that nice groomed look.
So we just easily lift it up. That way we didn't create a little pile of footing at the entrance. And what we're going to do is now lock it to make sure it doesn't swing around. And by doing that, we're going to just simply drop that and just slightly just grab this, and that'll slightly fall into play.
Perfect.
Like so. And now you're locked, and you can go do other farm chores. And this drag, I do want to mention, this is an 8-footer. On a John Deere 4000 series, we'll run an 8-footer no problem. The 6-foot swivels I recommend on like a 3000 series, and then if you're in like a 2000 series, I would recommend, you know, the smaller drags without the swivel.